everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Rawstocks. This is Rustic. Today we're going to be taking a look at some charts. We're going to look at where price came from, where price ended today, and where price is likely to head tomorrow and into the rest of the week. Don't forget, it's a short trading week with July 4th. Take the time to spend it with your family, your loved ones, barbecue some things, and have a good time. We'll be back to trading in no time. Don't forget also to check out the Rawstocks website, rawstocksllc.com. Fully launched. More information about the Discord, how to become a free member, how to become a premium member, and there's a promo code across the top of the screen on the website. So do me a favor, go check it out. But let's jump into the charts. Without further ado, take a look at Tesla first. Tesla had a roar ripping day, right? We talked about the potential that it was going to gap resistance. Didn't quite gap resistance like I thought it was going to, but instead did it during market hours, went tearing. And you can see, if we just take a look at the 1 hour chart, we get a good idea of what was happening starting at the end of June. We got a nice big fair value gap as we saw price take off. We consolidated a little bit, saw another nice move up at the end of the week last week. We came back down, we tested the 50 period again on the 1 hour chart, the 50 EMA. And then from there, we saw price move up in pre-market, or at the end, or aftermarket, sorry, on Friday. And then we saw the pre-market start to make the move up. Now, right out of the gate, we saw price go shredding. We had a nice 1 hour fair value gap here. And then we saw price continue to move up to a target that we had talked about over the weekend. And that target was 212.23. Now you can see we hit it. We wicked above it. 1 hour candle close below it 2 different times. We tested that same level and then we rejected it. So now we just kind of consolidated into the close. A couple things I'm looking for is that we didn't hit the 215.12 target. So we certainly could see numbers come out tomorrow, and we could see price make a run at that 215 level. At that point in time, I think we're going to reject, come back down, test 203, and then start to make a descent higher again. Now we could ultimately end up rejecting and coming lower, coming back to run a test of the new week opening gap, but I don't think that's likely to happen. I think that smart money has taken their position, and I think they're trying to drive this to some of our higher targets at 218.85, 223.32, ultimately as high, as 240. And then on the high time frames, there's even an order block even higher than that. But what I do think is that they're not trying to give bulls much of a chance to catch this move. I think that, they're gonna just continue to rip face and, let FOMO start to kick in as we start to make moves even higher, then trap the bulls like they like to do. So we'll have to wait and see if that fully plays out the way I expect it to or not, but definitely looking for that move up to 212 first, or sorry, 215 first, and then possibly down to this fair value gap. And then I think we move higher from there. So definitely looking to start to build a long-term position again. We've closed out of basically all of the long-term positions that we had, turned a nice profit through the month of June. Callouts had about $25,000 in profitable callouts on the Discord. So if you remember, you caught many of those. Should be making a nice amount of money considering we only charge $25 a month to get those callouts. If you're not a member, definitely check out the website, rawstocksllc.com. To learn more about how to become a member. I'm going to jump over to NVDA. NVDA, we saw this consolidation. We've seen this drop down into the 1 hour fair value gap, and we saw a nice bounce from there. What I'm looking for with NVIDIA is to get above these moving averages, right? We're above the 20 now. We rejected the, we're getting really tight here with the 100, 250, and 20 on the 1 hour time frame. Looking for us to make that move up to buy side liquidity, and we'll show what that kind of looks like. This move down was also an optimal trade entry, 70.5% down into our golden pocket. So ultimately looking for this move to come back up, test this level here at 130, and then push into this 1 hour fair value gap. Right? We might find rejection there. We might push all the way up to the order block, but definitely looking for us to be drawn into this bullish fair value or this bearish fair value gap. Right? At that point in time, we could see rejection. Right? We're likely to see rejection as we enter into it, even if it's just a pop down and pop back up. But likely there's shorts sitting here, there's liquidity sitting here. We're going to push up into it and then see if we want to make a move further down or if we want to make new highs from there. We jump over to QQQ. QQQ, you see on the 1 hour on June 24th, we ran a test of the 200 period. We popped back up. Now we've come back down, ran another test of the 200 period. Gamma looks pretty good on the Qs for it to make a move, continue to make a move up. You can see we're above all the moving averages on the 1 hour. We got them lined up in a bullish formation, 20, 50, 100, 200. So we're running a test now with a 20 period again. If that holds on the 1 hour time frame, look for that move to run a test on buy side liquidity, 487. Old high 488 and some change, and then push up to 490. I know there's some high gamma levels up there that have been building, and so we'll see if we can make that move to 490. Similar look on SPY. We ran a test the first time. We didn't run a test on the 200 period. We didn't quite get down there. Now we've come back down. We've run a test on the 200 period. We're below the moving averages on SPY, so we'll see if we get another a bit of a dip down. We are right around the 50 on the RSI. We are above the moving average, although the RSI is pointed down, but not a lot of structure in here. So definitely looking for us to potentially drop down a little lower and then run a test maybe on some of the liquidity up here, or not. We could just dump down, drop below the 200 period and continue to flush down. We do have a large fair value gap in here that could take us as low as 537. And then we have sell side liquidity all the way down to 532 if this thing just falls out. Decent look here with kind of, I mean, it's not really a cup and handle, but it is, you know, it looks kind of like a cup, but that's a deep handle. So I don't know if that play would be valid. But again, this test of the 200 period with the bounce once, twice, right? We could see this get back above the moving averages. We're below the new week opening gap, so we are looking for buying opportunities, right, to then push up above the new week opening gap and look for selling opportunities. So I'm not sure what the gamma levels look like on SPY, but definitely looking like if we can get above these moving averages, then we can get back up and start making a run at the highs again. We're going to look at HIMS because HIMS is something I covered on the weekly update. Also in a HIMS trade for the premium members. Also entered a second HIMS for a 1.5 year out contracts, $40 strikes, looking for a $50 price target. You can see we saw that pretty aggressive drop last week on Thursday. Since then, we've started to recover. We're above 3 of the 4 moving averages. We got a nice bullish fair value gap. We can get above the resistance here at 2163. We can see that push up to this order block up in the 23.5 area. And from there, we can see a move back up to, well, there's this bearish fair value gap that we could get stuck in the 24 area. And then ultimately, potentially running at this old high of 25. Right, but then I'm going to give you guys a look on the weekly chart where we see that cup and handle formation. Looks pretty good here, right? We get a nice kind of arc, even though there's some structure building. Get that nice arc. We have fairly equal highs, right? And if we measure that arc there, we can see our price targets coming in at $49. But that could take a little while to get there, so we'll just have to wait and see. You can see even on this time frame, we kind of get this move down. That could just be our little handle, start to get a push up, right? Our targets would be again back at the old high, and this is a fib level, so we're looking at standard deviations. We hit 4 standard deviations, we pop back down nearly to 2 standard deviations. Now we're back up near 3. We're looking to make that push on 4, then hit 5, 6, right? And then from there, we'd be making that run to 50 or where our price target is. Going to look at Microsoft. Microsoft is another trade that we're in on the premium. We're in some calls for that. They're a little bit far out, you know, so we got plenty of time. Right now, they're in the money and they're doing really well. You can see on Microsoft, we had that order block on the 1 hour chart that came back June 20th. And you can see we've dipped down into it, tested it, and then we've continued to set some nice structure here. We've run a test, ran out the sell side liquidity here, saw that nice rally up, closed out this bearish fair value gap and inverted it, right? We'll draw that just so you can take a look at what that looks like. So this was a bearish fair value gap that then inverted, so it becomes a bullish support level, even though it's a pretty big support. But you can see we dipped back down to it, ran a test, popped back up off of it. Now we got a nice bullish fair value gap. If we draw down into it a little bit, no big deal. What I'm looking for at that point in time would be maybe a push down and then continuation to the upside, right? Don't have a price target necessarily, maybe 460. Have to look at what gamma looks like for the options market, but definitely looking for that push up, coming over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Last thing we're going to look at is snow. Snow's one that I've been watching, was waiting for a little bit of a pullback, didn't get it. You can see we had that bottom forming. We saw RSI divergence on the daily chart, right? As we set a low and then a lower low, as we set higher highs on the RSI, higher lows on the RSI. Then we've just seen kind of 4 days of just, boom, just smashing up, right? What I was looking for, and I called this out in the Discord, I was looking for a return to this fair value gap. We got the fair value gap there. I was looking for price 2 days ago to draw back into it, and instead we get 2 green candles. So haven't got that draw back yet. I'm not looking to take a long position above this week's new week opening gap, but ultimately looking for price to deliver back up to 160. We're at 142 right now. So we are at the 50 period. If we do get a drawback down anywhere into or below the new week opening gap over the next week, ultimately trying to get 127, but if we don't get it, no big deal, because we have the 20 period here that might offer support. So if we draw back down towards that 20 period moving average, I'll take a long-term trade on snow, and I'll look to target 160 as the liquidity level. Hopefully that's been helpful for you guys. Don't forget to smash a like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Leave a comment, please. It helps the algorithm get our channel out. I know a lot of you benefit. A lot of you are members of the Discord, which we much appreciate, but definitely trying to reach new members, new audience, other people who could benefit from the Rawstocks trading community and the analysis here on YouTube. So drop a comment if you will, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care and good luck trading tomorrow.